that's the biggest negative about Brazil that I saw. I never seen a country as racist, not the DR, not PR, not Mexico, not Colombia, but I never saw, they're like stuck in time, dude. They actually, like worship like white people, man. It's crazy.
Hey, Jamie Woods, we here to travel and motivate. No curry, we just trying to keep our minds in a golden state. We answer to nobody but the Lord, we control our fate. Too many things to see just to sit in a hole and bake. We growing, ayy.
I think everybody, I don't want to say everybody, man, but everybody's like fake. Online, they sell a dream, but they don't say the negatives. Like, there's a huge negative to Brazil, man, that Colombia doesn't have, bro. Brazil
too. Yeah.
Is the most racist country I've been to. I've never seen racism on a level, man, just like a black person asked if they could use the elevator. Like, that's crazy. Like, I've never seen that, bro. A black person asked if they could use the elevator. I went to a restaurant. Everybody who was eating was white and the workers were black. The manager or the owner was white. Chicks there, they freely talk about racism openly. And I'll give you examples. Like my Airbnb tourist, great girl, spoke Spanish, spoke English, great girl, very nice. But, I was like, man, I want to go to Manaus because I want a Pocahontas. I want a princess. They look so beautiful, right? And she says, why? For what? I was like, what do you mean, why? For what? She says, you're white. Why? So they don't believe it's crazy. I just never seen anything like that. I'm in that restaurant and I'm with a chick. She's Polish. And I'm like, hey, have you never hooked up with any of these guys? I mean, they're built, all this stuff. She was like, and she said, no, son moreno y son feo. Like, and I'm being honest. And see, this never goes on YouTube. This never gets there. It's just like, oh no, go, all this other stuff. But man, I'd be honest, if I was, I don't know, dude, I couldn't live somewhere where the racism is that high. In my building, I was staying in Jardim, and
good neighborhood.
Yeah, it's an awesome neighborhood, man. It was like close to everything. I was on Oscar Freire. I stayed right there on Oscar Freire.
I was living in I was in Piñeros. Yeah.
And I'm standing in front of my building, bro, and this is how racist it was, bro. It's crazy. There was a black person that was delivering. Over there they don't have Rappi. I was using Rappi. Over there they had something called iFood is what I ordered on. And the black person is standing outside my building, delivering. And a white person, dude, and he's trying to like mess with the door. And a white person in the corner walking a dog is standing there looking at him to see if he's going to jump the gate.
Oh, shit.
Like standing there, like looking like that, dude. And I'm like, wow. And then after the guy saw that he was giving me the food, then the guy jumped on the bike and then that guy kept walking his dog. But he was standing there like looking to see if the guy was going to jump the gate. And I'm just like, wow, dude. Like, that's the biggest negative about Brazil that I saw. I never seen a country as racist, not the DR, not PR, not Mexico, not Colombia. But I never saw, they're like stuck in time, dude. They actually, like worship like white people, man. It's crazy.
Strong girl. So you gotta watch out. Look at that.
I'm dangerous.
Let's go, girl. Oi. How are you?
Hi.
Yeah.
You're like, he's very big.
Yeah. It's a lot of weight. It's heavy.
You missed one.
Yeah. Oh my God, guys, we're getting spanked. Yes.
When I was in Sao Paulo, because usually I always talk about the bad, I talked about when I got robbed. I almost got robbed in Rio de Janeiro. So I do talk about the bad as well when it comes to Brazil. But for some odd reason, maybe it's because of the language barrier, or maybe it's just, I don't know what it was. But I didn't really experience much racism when I was in Sao Paulo and Rio, especially when you go to Rio. Because Rio, like any country you go to in this world, you're going to experience racism, no matter where you go. But I guess some states, some cities in Rio or Brazil are probably less racist than others. So when I went to Rio, I didn't really feel racism. I felt more of a black pride, especially depending where you went. And I know for a fact, Salvador, judging from what I heard from other people, Salvador is very big into like black pride. So yeah, man, I do agree with you. Like, I'm sure there's a ton of racism that goes down in Brazil.
But brother, I never saw that in Mexico, Puerto Rico, DR. Well, I've been to Jamaica, all these other. I mean, I just never saw. So I thought those times were over. And you'll just have like, and it's crazy how open people are. Like that girl, she's a sweetheart. You know, the Airbnb tour girl. But she said to me, I said Manaus. And she said, why? And I was like, what do you mean why? She was like, because you're white. Why would you?
Because I think,
like, mix that blood. Like, well, and then the girl that I took out to the restaurant, she was like, ¿Por qué? Son morenos y son feos. And I was like, but they're built, they're cut, they're shredded. And she was like, I don't. And I'm just like, I just never saw. See, in Colombia, they could have a preference, but they're not open about it. And I never saw that kind of racism. But man, I don't know if I could. I don't know, dude. That's weird. I never saw that before.
I get you, man. I feel like that would be a turn off for certain people because it comes off like ignorant or whatever the case is. But I would say just pour around Brazil a little bit more. Florianopolis, I heard, is a little bit more white compared to. Yeah, it's very European in Florianopolis. Yeah. So if you're trying to avoid that, I don't know if Florianopolis is the place, even though the beaches are cool and the women there are cool and all that. But yeah, I'm assuming there would probably be more racist in the south you go in Brazil. Yeah. North you go is probably less racist. But yeah, man, I can see why that's a turn off. And even in Dominican culture, for example, they have a thing that's called no daña la raza, something like that, where don't ruin the genes, don't ruin the line, basically, where they don't want you to mix or mingle.
But the level of openness, I never heard those comments like that, dude. Mm-hmm. Like the level, they're comfortable, you know, to speak that way. And I'm like, wow, I know in Colombia that happens. In DR, you got the white people and all this other stuff, but people typically have their preferences, but they don't, you know, go out and say racist stuff. Like in Colombia, I never heard that in Colombia, and I was there 5 years, you know. And like my best guy, my guy who was my driver, my taxi, my security, he's black from Barranquilla, and he's got a white paisa. His wife is white paisa. They've been married 30 years, and he's black and she's white. And in Colombia, man, I never saw that kind of race. I'm sure those white paisas, they prefer the lighter skinned people, but they don't go out and openly talk like that or say that stuff. But Brazil, man, I'm surprised it was so like that, man.